Politifact has released their top 10 fact-checking stories of 2018. I wonder what they covered this year. Hi, thanks for watching. Today is Friday, Fact Check Friday, and today I'm going to go over Politifact's top 10 stories of the year. Now, the subjects that they covered, this is going to surprise you. Half of them were Donald Trump, and 3 out of the 10 stories had to deal with the Parkland shooting. Now, I just want to introduce a concept really quick about fact-checking, and that's that you really can't fact-check the future. That's not fair. If I say that I'm on a diet and I'm going to lose 10 pounds, if Politifact didn't like me, they could easily say, "Pants on fire lie. That's not true. Tom hasn't lost 10 pounds. Yeah, but I'm in the process of it. It hasn't happened yet, so you really can't say that that's false. Just keep that in mind when we're going through these stories. All right, let's get to number 10. Number 10, Trump said only fools or worse are saying that our money-losing post office makes money with Amazon. They lose a fortune, and this will be changed. So this was from a tweet, and they fact-checked it to find out that it is actually illegal for the post office to lose money on a delivery. Now, since these deals are private, we don't really know the details about them. But something to consider, maybe, as Trump is a businessman, when he says that they're losing a fortune, it doesn't mean that they're actually losing money on each delivery, but that they're losing potential money on each delivery, that they should be charging $1 or $2 more per package, and that is the potential money that they're losing. That's one of the real problems when you're fact-checking a tweet. Because you're limited in the number of characters in a tweet, it's really hard to know the details of what someone is saying. I can't read Trump's mind. It doesn't look like they asked for clarification on this from the administration, and so therefore I'm not sure that I necessarily agree with their finding that it is false. Number 9, Trump said that Saudi Arabia has ordered $450 billion in goods and services from the United States, $110 billion of which is a military order producing over 1 million jobs. And they say this is a pants on fire, that there is no data behind the $450 billion, and the $110 billion is a blend of smaller deals in progress, old offers that have not come through, and speculative discussions that have yet to move forward. If the $450 billion in orders is a mirage, the 1 million jobs is equally without substance. Again, this is one of the things that he's talking about something in the future, or in the present and future, and they're judging it just based on today. Now, while these claims of Trump may be unsubstantiated, I don't think that it's a pants-on-fire lie. I just don't have enough details with this one. Number 8, Trump said, "I never said Russia did not meddle in the election." Well, they claim that this is pants on fire again. But if someone says, "Hey, I didn't say this," the way to prove them wrong is to show when they did say that. And Politifact did not do that in this case. What they did is they conflated a lot of different things. When Trump was talking about the Russian hoax, he said that that had to do with the Trump team and Russia colluding. That didn't have to do specifically with the Russians influencing the election. In a May 2017 interview with NBC, Lester Holt, Trump said, "The Russia thing with Trump and Russia is a made-up story." When the Washington Post reported in December 2016 that the CIA had concluded that the Russians wanted to boost Trump's chances, Trump rejected that. Here's the thing. If the CIA said that the Russians wanted Trump to win, that doesn't mean that the CIA said that the Russians actually did something. That's two separate things. And Politifact is conflating so many different things in this article. I think if you wanted to prove this a pants-on-fire lie, Trump said, "I never said this," we'll show where he did say it. They didn't do that. I disagree with this finding. Number 7, Trump said that the nuclear deal with Iran, $150 billion, giving $1.8 billion in actual cash carried out in barrels and in boxes from airplanes. They say this is a half-truth for Trump. The $1.8 billion is reasonable. The official amount is actually $1.7 billion. However, there's no evidence that barrels and boxes were involved. So if it was $160 So if it was 1.8 billion or 1.7 billion in cash, and Trump said they put it in barrels and boxes, if you're going to say that that's not true, then you need to say, what did they move it in? Was it in duffel bags? Was it in crates? What was the cash in? The cash was not carried by hand, I'm sure. There's no evidence that it wasn't in barrels or boxes. So if you're going to say that that's not true, you need to at least give a counter argument to it. At least to me you do. So I would not rate this as half true. I would rate this as true. Number 6, a doctored image shows Parkland school shooting survivor Emma Gonzalez ripping up the U.S. Constitution. This was a video and a photo that's been photoshopped and changed. Now, originally this was for Teen Vogue, and she was tearing up a target from a gun range, and someone had changed it to the Constitution. Now, a lot of people that are not fans of Emma Gonzalez would believe that she would want to tear up the Constitution, but that's not what this video or this picture shows. That's one of the problems when you hold up a paper, is it's going to be photoshopped by people that don't like you. Just look back to Michelle Obama when she had the sad face and she held up the sign that said, help our girls. Oh, that meme went viral. That was photoshopped 100,000 times. And so anytime that you see someone, a celebrity or a politician, holding up a sign, there's chances that it may or it will be photoshopped. They rated this pants on fire, and I agree. Number 5. In the rest of the world, there's been 18 school shootings in the last 20 years. In the U.S., there's been 18 school shootings since January 1. They rated this mostly false. And this was a tweet from Jeff Greenfield, who is a journalist and author. He got his information from Everytown, which is an anti-gun advocacy group. And they count everything that happens on a school campus as a school shooting if it involves a gun. So if someone commits suicide, if a gun is discharged for whatever reason, even if no one was hurt or even if no one was intended to be hurt, they say that this is a school shooting. And in this case, he agreed. He said the statistics were not quite accurate, and they rated this as mostly false, which I agree with. Number 4, Sarah Huckabee Sanders said tear gas was used on average once a month during the Obama administration for very similar circumstances. They rated this mostly true. They say it's largely accurate. And again, when you fact check something and it's true, it's not sexy and it's kind of boring, right? Who cares? It's true. They said this and yeah, it's true. So I don't care about this. I agree. Let's move on. Number 2, David Hogg wasn't at school during the Parkland school shooting. Gun control opponents targeted David Hogg, another Parkland school leader, with this false conspiracy theory. So what had happened is, due to some phrasing that he used in an interview, it sounded like he was admitting that he wasn't at school. Turns out that he was. They rated this pants on fire, and I would agree. Number 2, Beto O'Rourke has a criminal record that includes DWI and burglary arrests. This is accurate. They have this claim as true. Beto O'Rourke, in his younger days, hopped a campus fence and was also caught with a DWI. Turns out he was not convicted of either of these crimes, but he was arrested, and so they rate this as true. I agree. Now, the number 1 story for Politifact fact-checking this year was the Trump administration's policy of separating families is the same way Barack Obama did it. Now, I find this very interesting, and that's the wording of the claim. The meme that I heard that went around on social media and whatnot was that, hey, you don't like that Trump is doing this? Obama did it too. And if they phrased it, did the Obama administration separate families from their children? That would be true, because they did. They didn't do it in the same fashion or to the same degree, and that's why they rated this as false. It's the editors of the fact-checking websites that can determine exactly what the claim is. I've seen this on many different fact-checking websites where they could phrase the claim in a different way to get a different result. And that's what they did here. But according to this claim, did the Trump administration separate families in the same way that Barack Obama's administration did? No, they didn't. And so it's false, and I would agree with that. Now, it is interesting that 50% of their top 10 had to deal with Trump. And that's because if you look at Politifact's website, most of their fact-checking is done against Donald Trump. And while it is important that he be fact-checked, I think it should be fact-checked accurately, which I don't think they always do. But there are more things happening in the world than Donald Trump. I understand that he gets clicks and that people are interested in that. But if you are trying to make sure that the truth is getting out there, there are a lot of different things that you should also be checking. And so, but for 2019, I hope that Politifact will look at more subjects than just what Donald Trump tweeted. But let me know, had you heard of all 10 of these stories, and do you agree with the fact-checking of them? Let me know in the comments. Peace.